Hey guys, welcome to the show. This is the Goob Show with Generation Iron. I got Vlad and Ed with me, and we're about to cover some topics. On the menu today, we got Chul Soon, Mike Sommerfeld, and a bodybuilding show controversy, where first place was taken away and given to a popular influencer by somebody we know in the industry. We'll see.
Who's getting Goob today?
We have a bodybuilder named Chul Soon, known as having the greatest obliques of all time, being a great Korean bodybuilder, and also for beating the shit out of his wife on camera and then denying it.
Did he really beat his wife on camera?
It was a slap. It was a slap, but it wasn't like...
Vlad, Chul Soon's attorney over here, he's like, Your Honor, it was only a slap. He didn't actually beat her.
Well, we'll see. I mean, look, we should know about this because we've been shooting a documentary about Chul.
That's so
2020
crazy.
A lot of people don't know this. We haven't announced it formally, but it's coming together since 2022.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving parts, and we can talk about why.
Twists and turns, huh?
A lot of twists and turns.
I came in today and I was like, all right, guys, we're shooting Chul. And they're like, yeah, we've been shooting Chul. I was like, ooh, did the incarceration impact that? Yeah, we had to go to a different location than we were shooting before.
It's so funny. A friend of ours, he was working on a Vince McMahon documentary for Netflix.
Yeah.
And started off as a regular documentary about a life story, and then it turned into something completely different.
Oh yeah,
kind of like this here.
They're like, all right, let's open the book of your life. They're like, damn, you're fucking worthless, bro. Like, Jesus. So the story with Chul, right? He's in for beating a different girl.
Right. That's the charge. Yeah.
So I did a video of him like a year ago where it was crazy. And the only reason I did it is nobody was covering it. It was sent to me. It was a Ring camera from like in the house of him slapping his wife.
This is a video from his at-home Ring camera of him assaulting his wife and striking her in the face multiple times. The video continues, and Chul smacks her multiple times, and it led to her making a post on social media. She posted this photo of her bruised eye and bruised face.
And then he came, oh, no, everything's fine. Oh, my wife. She made a comment to one of the news media like, oh, it was nothing. And then all the stories are just getting taken down. I was like, what the fuck? So I covered it, and it got a ton of press on my page, but it was like I was the only person that
you were one of the only people
mentioned it. Like nobody else did.
It's like South Korea is like a different world. Like literally, like because we were filming with him when we were over there, and it's like a different world.
Does he like have a lot of power, like political power?
It seems that way. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. It's very cliquey. South Korea is very cliquey.
Do they go by who has like the biggest obliques gets to say?
It's Korea is very different. Like, you know, when you go to India, people are swarming guys like Kai Green.
Yeah.
Like guys, Korea is not like that at all.
Really?
No, it's the opposite. They look at that. They look down on people that do that. You know, they really don't swarm people. And they know who Chul is over there. But it's interesting. Chul, if you would have told me, hey, he really beat his wife, or his lover or whatever, I wouldn't believe you because he brought us into his home. I mean, we went out drinking with him.
That guy, by the way, that guy can drink.
I believe it. I saw the video of him coming back sauced and smacking the shit out of her. Yeah, that guy's drunk as hell. But there's no way that's a sober man.
Besides that, I mean, just in general,
his wife was really nice. He's really nice. His kids are lovely. I would never expected that.
That's crazy though. There's two, right? Because the conviction he's serving, I guess is he still in or he just got out?
He just got out literally like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so that's damn.
So we got to continue filming, basically. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Did you talk to him? You're like, hey, man, yeah.
But you know what's interesting? He's a showman, right? He's like what you would think of somebody who's always want to be on camera, presents a certain point of view or a certain persona, I would say. So the film is exploring who he really is, which is actually not easy to understand at first glance.
Yeah.
He loves to entertain, right? Like have you seen those videos of him eating different like crazy stuff?
The mukbang videos and
he's an entertainer, you know what I mean? But what we're trying to do is figure out who he really is.
I guess we'll find out now.
I did one video on who he really is.
So who do you think he really is?
Who you are is when nobody else is in the room, what are you doing? And it's not for Chul Soon, it's not, I'm dancing on stage and entertaining people. It's like, what's the worst that you're doing that nobody knows about? And that's who you are, unfortunately.
One thing, obviously, I'm not trying to defend him slapping his wife at all, right? But like Dana White was caught on camera too, right?
Fucked up too, It
was a fucked up situation, right? I mean,
I've never hit a woman. Like, I don't know. Like, you guys, I mean, it's pretty low. Like, it's pretty hard to do on accident. Like, I've just never smacked the shit out of a girl. Like,
that's definitely don't believe in that either. I think it just happens when and Goob is right, and you see it behind closed door, it shows who you really are.
Yeah.
No, of course.
You don't have cameras around you. You know,
I couldn't find a situation where I would do I don't know, man. Right. And I had a girl chase me with a knife once. She was mad because I was leaving her, and I just left. I was like, I'm gone. I grabbed my dog and just left.
Wow.
I was gone.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I'm gonna fight this bitch. Like, no.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
There's
bro.
a lot of stories too of women that beat men you don't even hear about.
Yeah. I've done a couple of them actually on my page.
Do you ever get? Let me ask you a question. Do you ever get messages from people like, hey, I want to expose my girlfriend or my wife or my husband who's like cheating on me?
Dude, all the time. And I don't fucking do it. There's this couple I know, and it's like every 3 months, the dude, she'll like GPS track him, and she'll find out that he's like fucking like some other girl from the gym. And she'll like send me all the evidence. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything with this because 2 weeks later, they're back together. Like, how awkward that. And I actually sent her a message because I saw their like couples post like a week ago. I was like, how awkward would that have been?
Yeah.
And she's like,
that's a toxic relationship right there.
Yeah, just stop. But like, I don't do that. There was it happens all the time where there will be like some sort of crazy relationship drama, and somebody did something pretty fucking wrong, and they'll send it to me, and it's like the significant other reporting it, and I won't do that. It's like, you'll be back together, and then you'll be lying. It happened once. I did it once where it was like a domestic thing, and there was no video of it. Like Chul cracking his woman. Like, there's a video of that. It's not just her saying it. She actually, I think she denied it in the. Did she deny it in the article?
I think she ended up denying it later.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. But like,
Yeah.
I don't care. There's a video of it happening.
Right.
There was no video of this happening. It was an arrest, and there was some physical evidence of like whatever, but there was no video of it happening. I do the video. She starts lying and saying that it never happened after sending me I don't know who the you are. She sends me all the video, all the information. I do the video on her word, cover it, and then she starts saying, oh, I'm lying, it didn't happen, blah, 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 because they got back together. After that, I was like, this shit. I'm never doing this again. No relationship.
Yeah,
if you're reporting it and you're the significant other, off. Like, absolutely not.
Right.
Because you guys are going to rekindle, and then it's going to be really awkward for fucking all of us.
Yeah, and it makes you look bad. Yeah.
It's not worth it at all.
Yeah, I took the video down. I was like, fuck you both.
So, any other final words on Chul Soon here?
No, not. I got nothing for you, Chul.
All right,
Nothing
see
for
what
you at
happens.
all. What about you guys? When's the doc come out?
Well, we don't know right now. with this
Do you
whole-
have something of him in like his blues, his jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Really? Like you went to the?
Oh no, not in a
You
prison
didn't go to
specifically.
the prison.
No.
Oh, I was like, what's a Korean prison like?
I know.
It's probably awesome, to be honest. Like, Korean prisons are probably sick. They probably like make you go to school and like
I don't know.
you get a laptop. Like, I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's pretty cool. Like, it's probably not that bad.
It's probably not that bad.
Can we look into
compared to
that?
the States.
Like, what's a Korean?
We're gonna
prison
look
like?
into that actually.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get that into the film so people can check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe
But it'd be interesting.
Maybe a reenactment.
A lot of reenact. We went to Jeju Island, which is like their version of Hawaii. It's really beautiful. I mean, it's incredible country, honestly.
Was this while Chul was locked up and you guys were like, well, we're already here, so I can...
It was before, actually, So
All right. So the next topic is kind of strange. I did not expect I didn't know idea this was happening.
Oh, is this an Olympia champion that you're talking about that was
Yeah.
editing his photos?
Yeah,
That is not Ryan Terry? This is so crazy.
It's similar to
So-
Ryan Terry's story, right?
Similar.
So you found another guy, and obviously most people in the bodybuilding
By the way,
industry know who he is.
When men Photoshop, it is so rare that I run it like immediately. So there's 20 to 1 women
Right,
run
right.
Photoshop. But when there's a man that Photoshops that's also an Olympian, like that's the top of my list. Like
So
I'm
who are
doing
we
that
talking
right away.
about here? We're talking about
Whoa. Guys, we're not saying it yet, but classic physique champion. Almost Olympian. Mike Sommerfeld. What the fuck, Mike? Mike the badass on Instagram. I've done probably 3 videos on him now for editing his shit, and he just never responds and just keeps doing it.
But you sure that
Wow.
he did that? You sure he did?
I would bet my life on it. I showed it. Yeah, absolutely.
That L there looks a little weird. You see it? Pause. Is that supposed to be bent? It could be. Yeah. It's not supposed to be bent.
So what was he photoshopping exactly to make
His
himself
shoulders, his legs, like weird. Like, why? He's big.
Are we talking about like 1 post here, 2 posts?
Tons. Like 3 videos worth. At least 2. I think I did 2 videos on his Photoshop, and 1 video he robbed a graphic designer out of $300 for God knows what reason.
And you called him out.
Yeah.
Here's the conversation you have with the graphic designer asking for his help in designing the shirt. And then it came time to pay. And you didn't want to pay. So you didn't pay. Then you printed and sold the design and ignored the guy until he posted about it on social media saying that you were a thief. You texted him, "You might be mad because you think I wanted to steal this, but that wasn't my intention. But Mike, you took the design, you never paid for it, and printed and sold it. That is stealing."
And did he
No.
He
No,
reached-
I think he DM'd me and was like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't like that," and he ended up paying the guy, which is cool, but like still, bro.
So do you? I mean, so what's now? I mean, do you think this is becoming like an industry standard?
No, it's like I said, like it's in the male side of things. Like, okay, industry standard. If we're talking about
Yarishna.
women's wellness,
Right,
like if you could hotspot like who's doing most of the editing, it's like the bikini girls. No, most of them are legit.
because they're already in good shape.
Because I don't know what it is. I think they're that for whatever reason that class.
I mean,
most of them
they're very photogenic. Those girls.
Yeah.
They're really thin already.
Yeah, they're
so
like
it's
very pretty,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
in shape women, and oftentimes no Photoshop. But wellness, for whatever reason, is like most of the women that I cover are wellness. I don't know why.
Yeah.
If you're a wellness girl, just stop doing that. You know, you gotta set a good example. And then open bodybuilding is like needle in a haystack. I don't know if I've done very many open bodybuilders. The one guy who he has a podcast, I can't remember his name, but we're gonna cover him next time, I think, because it was a funny story. But very few open bodybuilders, very few, if it ever happens. And then classic all the time, and I don't know why. Like, what are you guys doing? It's kind of weird. But yeah, he does shoulders and legs, and it was like endless.
So
I
he
just
got
kept
second
scrolling.
place at Olympia this year, last year.
Second place at the Olympia, yeah,
Just huge improvement.
and like slated to be first this year.
Yeah. It's like to be
Assuming that
first.
Chris
Exactly.
isn't messing with us.
Yeah.
Taking over Chris's
Yeah.
spot. Right.
I mean, like, who's gonna challenge him?
You think Chris is messing with
That'd be funny if Chris just showed up. He's like, "F- you guys, give me another one."
Do you think Mike is doing it to boost his engagement, to get more
Yeah, what's the
sponsors? I mean,
purpose
what do you
here?
think? What do you think the purpose is
I don't
behind
get
it?
it.
I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird. The graphic designing thing was kind of slimy. I covered a video where which might be your question, boost his engagement, get more sponsors. He commissioned a shirt design from this guy for like $300, which is like that's a decent bit of money, but that's not like you're an Olympian that presumably gets a check from these times that you whatever, and you get a check from sponsors, and like you're doing okay. $300 for a shirt design. Kid designs it. He sends it, and I see the back and forth in their messages like, change this, make this, change this. And it gets to the point where Mike's like, I'm happy with it. I love it, bro. And the guy sends it to him, and he's like, okay, it's $300. And Mike's like, no, I'm not going to be able to recover the money from. He tells him some weird shit like, oh, I'll have to like whatever. So I'm not going to use it. I'm actually not going to print it. So I'm not going to pay you. Which is like, that's not how that works, right? Like, I'm not.
Once you already agreed to it, right?
You go to a restaurant, you order the meal, you're like, I actually chose not to eat it, so well, you can take it back. Like, that's just not how that works. Like, is there something wrong with it that you don't pay? But like, you just ordered the steak, you're looking at it like, I've changed my mind and I'm right now. I'll see you later. So he
Yeah,
did
throw
that.
it up.
yeah, he did that, and he did. Well, put it in a takeout box. I'm going to take it with me, but I'm also not going to pay. So he keeps the design. And then prints it a few months later on a shirt and doesn't say anything to the graphic designer. And the guy reaches out to him and he's like, "Oh yeah, f off," and doesn't want to give him money. And so I did a video and then he paid him, which is
He paid him right away.
which is like that's sad, bro. Like, you shouldn't need some dude on the internet leveraging
Right.
you for a $300 debt. Like, that's pretty easy to.
Exactly.
He had it. Clearly, he had it. And then just it was really sad.
So Mike, also we do annual bodybuilding awards that are fans actually voting for different categories,
Yeah.
and he won, I believe, the most improved bodybuilder of the year.
Yeah.
which is just big for him. You know what I mean? Like, honestly,
I would give him the highest socks award.
You really don't like that guy.
No, he always has the high socks.
He does. He does.
He always, yeah,
He does.
He does
I don't
have
know much
that-
about him, but I know he's a great bodybuilder. Obviously.
He's an amazing bodybuilder. Just like, dude, come on. Like, you have so many people looking at you. Like, you, even if you are a bag, like, just stop for a little bit. Like, be it later.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Chul Soon, like, if he was doing this the whole time, he hit it really well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, too many people are looking at you. Even if you're a bag, like, just hold that in. Try. Like, you should use this as motivation. Like, be a better person. Even if you're not, you're not a better person, just stop.
Maybe a lot of people in the industry now are cleaning up their acts because of you.
I mean, like, I could be a worse person, but there's too many people that look at
Too
me
many,
on a
yeah,
daily
yeah.
basis.
Too
I'm
many
like,
people.
I got to be better. Like, you know, sometimes you want to wow it out on somebody in traffic. You're like, this is gonna get filmed, and then I'm fucked. So you just roll up your window and turn up the music and fucking ignore them.
So the way you were able to see that he photoshopped his images is based on like the background, right? How it curves.
Well, he does it lazily. Like, damn, there's tons of people that definitely do it, but like they're really good at it. You know, if you, I mean, you guys are people in the media industry. Like, if you layer a picture and cut something, it's like you could spend an additional 5 minutes and make it very hard to find, unless I could get the raw data or like get the the raw image. Like, there's no real way I could ever tell.
Sure.
Like from the Shreds days, we talked about that in the last episode. People only knew that what's his name, Devin Physique was editing because he pissed off his photographer, and his photographer just sent the originals. yeah, he just sent the raws out to whoever fucking wanted them, and people were like, "Oh, well, this, one of these looks like not the other." So what's going on?
That was the first big scandal from Photoshop.
Yeah, but Mike doesn't. We don't need that level of investigation for Mike Sommerfeld. It's like just obvious,
Man.
It's obvious.
Man,
I know, it sucks. It's like, you're not big enough, Mike?
So what do you think is next for the industry? I mean, obviously, there's people that do get goobed, and then there's people that continue getting goobed.
I mean, I don't want them to stop. It's like, thanks, Mike and Yarish. I got 6 videos off of all of you now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. So do you think that this is something that is continue to evolve, or is going to change? Do you think people will stop? Like,
I'd say it has changed for sure.
Yeah,
like a lot, because it's so. I mean, the stuff that's on my page now is not always, for the first like year, it was just like Photoshop. I could do like 2 a day. And now it's like, not that many, upper level people. Yarishan is never going to stop. I just did a video on her. Like,
I did see that with the she was on a track, and the track in the background was like a hill.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
Maybe this was shot during the movie Dune, and a giant worm is coming out of the ground at this very moment the photo was taken. Or one of the best physiques in the world, for some reason, had to accentuate her physique even more than it already exists.
What I think happened is they meant to layer, and they just forgot to merge them. Because they, schmuzzed it all around and made it whatever perfect, and the back was fucked, and then it just boom, put it on.
It looks like a hill.
Yeah, and they just fucked it up. It looks like a BMX ramp in the back. Like, what's wrong with you, Jesus?
So the next topic is actually one of my favorites that I've heard that you exposed actually on your page, right? So it was a competition, right? And the guy won a competition.
So this is not an NPC. I don't know how we feel about controversy. That. So there's a gym called Six Packs Gym, and they have I don't know if they do it every year, but I've seen it twice that I know of, so maybe it's an annual thing, but it's a bodybuilding show that they have. They brought Tom Platz out, and he was like one of the judges, and it's
the Quad Father.
So they have a stage, and have you ever seen the Venice Beach NPC show?
Yeah.
It's like, if you could import that to, I think it's also in California, the Six Packs Gym. So they have a bodybuilding show, and they give away like a Mr. Classic Physique, whatever it is, and Miss Classic Physique, Miss Six Pack, and Mr. Six Pack, and they give away actual money, which is cool. Like, the top prize was $3,000, which, if you've ever competed in the NPC, like, you get a firm handshake, a trophy, and like a belt or something, and it's cool to win because a ton of people are trying to win that, but like, you don't get paid till you get to the pro leagues. So somebody sent this to me, and the controversy was this guy won. And there's pictures of him winning all over. And he's a very unknown, like, 1,000-follower guy, like just some random dude. And he wins Mr. Six Pack and gets the $3,000 check. And then 2-3 days later, the owner calls him and says, "Hey, there was a mistake in the judging, and you actually didn't get first place. A guy named Shizzy Lifts got first place."
Wow.
Now, Shizzy's a Instagram celebrity. He's like couple million follower, whatever guy. He competed there, and he was given 3rd place. Guy's in incredible shape. He just was soft from the back. The dude who won is a natural pro. So he's like a natural professional bodybuilder. He was absolutely peeled. If you watch a lot of bodybuilding, if you objectively didn't know who the fuck anybody was and didn't know how many followers anybody has, and you looked at it, the original lineup of judging, 1st through 3rd, would have been like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I might make the argument that Shizzy could have gotten second. The dude who was in second and Shizzy, you could find things that you like about either and flip-flop them. But like whatever, nobody gets the $3,000 check, right? I guess afterwards something happened, and they call this guy and say, hey, we can't give you the check. You know, you got to bring the whatever back. They made him bring the belt back and the award back, and they gave it to Shizzy.
This guy, Brian, recently won his class at their show for $1,000, and he won their overall Mr. Six Packs award for $1,500. The next day, the owner of Six Pack called him and said, hey, you got to give the trophy back and you got to give the check back. We made a mistake. Now, despite us having photos of every single judge that picked this guy as the winner, in photos with the guy celebrating the victory after they made the decision, and them writing his name on the check and handing him the award in front of everybody, they called him up the next day and gave it to Shizzy, who had got third place.
And I reached out and I'm asking questions to the Six Pack guy, and I'm just asking, you know, hey, what happened here?
The promoter,
the owner. He says, "Fuck you and fuck your videos," and just blocks me.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, so I ran it, and then he goes live with Tom Platz like a day later. And it's funny because Tom Platz is like doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's just Tom Platz and like isn't on the internet, I guess. And he says the quiet part out loud in like the first 3 minutes of the thing. So my question to them was, hey, did you just decide later that this guy deserved it for other reasons and change the judging?
Right.
Or is there an actual scorecard we could look at, which is the original story they told? Oh, there was a mistake in scoring. We added it wrong. Oh, you were actually supposed to, blah, blah, blah. We didn't change anything. That's the story that was told. Or did you at a later date decide,
right,
this isn't right, blah, blah, blah. And so Tom Platz is on there with the dude, and you can see the Six Pack guy, his face is like, because Tom Platz just says the quiet part out loud. He's like, yeah, we just decided after the fact that this guy needed it. And they posted it, and so I like saved it and did another video, and I was like, so I guess.
I believe I made a mistake yesterday when I was collecting the score from judges.
Wow, interesting. That's the same excuse you gave me yesterday. You said, I got the paperwork wrong.
And after talking to Mr. Tom, he has a different opinion about the winners.
Whoa. You got the scorecards wrong, or after the fact, Tom Platz had a different opinion about the winners. Which one is it?
We have clarification in our minds and our hearts that who should represent the winners of Mr. and Miss Six-Pack. We feel very strongly about this. Nothing to diminish the other winners.
So why do you think they did that? Like, what's the point?
Because think about, like, you know, the reason that you're doing these shows should be to build something that you love and care about, and should be the long game, where, you know, when NPC started, they're not like, oh, we have, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger's on stage right now with millions of people. It was like, you know, up and coming guy. You're getting the up and they're like, well, if we get Shizzy and he wins, then 1 million people will see it. Sure. But if this other guy wins, then, well, 1,000 people might see it. Sure. And they were looking at it as, what can you do for us? And made the change, which is really sad. And I mean, this guy, they try to take his check from him, right? Like,
the only question I have here, and I totally understand why they would do it, but why didn't they do it at the moment? You know what I mean?
At the time?
At the time, yeah. Why not give it to Shizzy right away?
Because maybe they didn't know who he was.
Oh.
And then later, and that's my theory, is like they just didn't know who he was.
They didn't know, and they're like, this guy has
my God, he has 2 bazillion followers, and we didn't give him the prize. Like, let's call him back. They also kind of like blamed it on Tom Platt. They're like, well, Tom felt like dude, shut up. Like, who was judging this shit? Like, Jesus.
Wow.
So yeah, if you're gonna do their show, I mean, you know, just make sure you buy some Instagram followers before you show up.
Did he give the check back, the guy?
They
voided it.
I leaned on him a little bit, and so the dude who got boned, that got given third place, a rep from First Form reaches out to me, and they're like, hey, how do we sponsor this guy and get him paid? Like, get what he's owed. And I was like, I don't know. And I reached out to the dude. I was like, do you have a phone number? And I put him in touch, and they ended up bringing him on as an athlete.
Really?
And
wow.
That's a happy ending there for him.
Yeah, but that's the difference between people that see the long game and the short game. Like, First Form's like, this guy did a great job. Let's make it. He's a small athlete with like 1,000
followers or something.
People on his thing. Yeah, it's not a lot of. It's thousands, a lot of people, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's not a million.
No, it's not.
And they picked him up, and then Shizzy got the title.
Man, well, that was a turn of events.
It's really sad. Really sad.
Kind of a sad story. Yeah. It's like, damn.
So,
But
Arnold
that's a happy
Classic.
ending at least.
So we have the Arnold Classic coming up in a week. A lot of big competitors. They usually have a great event there. I know you've been to the Arnold.
I've been in the Arnold every year since 2014.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So you've seen the evolution, you've seen it grow, and obviously COVID kind of messed things up. But this year they have an incredible lineup for Men's Open Classic as well. What are your thoughts? I mean, do you have any expectations? And are you going to be there with First Form as well, or?
First Form never goes to these things because they have like Summer Smash, which is their own. But I'm always wearing their. I'm there with Harambe, and I'll be walking around handing out some Uprising. I'm sure.
Nice.
You know what? I'm always there, but I don't know. The coolest thing that I'm excited for this year is Derek Lunsford, like coming off of a loss. This dude's gonna fucking eat people alive.
You think
like,
so?
He's a competitive
gonna win?
dude. He's a competitive fucking guy. Either him or I would love to one day see Akeem.
Yeah.
I was just
10
gonna say
out of
I would
10.
like to see Akeem Williams win.
10 out of 10 Akeem wins like most shows.
Yeah, I would love to see him win.
If he's perfect and he turns around and he's perfect, like it's fucking Akeem. I don't know if you saw, but he posted a photo end of January, so like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, shout out to
never
Akeem.
seen.
I mean, he looks great. I mean, I think he has the potential of winning any show. I mean, it just comes down to
It's like a Samson type
Yeah.
of thing where it's like, hey, if all the stars align and everything's perfect, you have
Right.
the size to just win. Like you can
Right.
just win, and you have a unique physique. Like
I would love to see him win. But who do you think is gonna win?
Derek Lunsford.
Derek Lunsford.
Really?
I think Derek's gonna absolutely wipe.
You think Derek Lunsford is gonna beat Samson?
Yeah,
Honestly?
yeah. I mean, he just lost. Like, buddy's upset.
I think this is the first time Olympia winners are competing at the Arnold. And
It usually
In
doesn't
year- in
happen.
years.
When I saw the flyer, I was like, is this right? Is Samson actually competing? Because like usually, I mean, it's only happened one time, right? With Ronnie.
Ronnie Coleman, I think.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird.
It's
This
been
is,
it's well over 10, at least over 12, 15
Definitely,
years,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Ronnie did it once, and usually it's
Yeah.
like you just sit out, which makes a lot of sense, just sitting out. But I don't know. I guess he's on the flyer, like he's fucking there, right?
Interesting,
It's
yeah.
got to be Samson.
So if Samson loses this one to Derek or somebody else, that's interesting because Mr. Olympia just lost the competition. That's
why
interesting.
you don't do it. Like that's why you don't show up. You know what I mean? Like let
True.
Bonac roll people or let Akeem
Well,
have it. Like,
guys always tend to fall off the last week.
Yeah.
So anything is possible this coming week. But at the end of the day, do you think they're doing it because of money?
who?
The guys are competing at the Arnold because of the prize money is higher, or
It is much higher this year.
I mean, yeah, they bumped it. It's like what? Is it 6?
I think I'm not sure.
Okay.
At least 5 or 6. I think
That's
Yeah,
a ton of
500 or
money.
600,
That
I'm
would
not
get
sure, yeah.
that would get a lot of people out of bed to go compete and be like, well, if I lose whatever, at least I could have, maybe I made 200K instead of 500K. I mean, if you're Samson, that's really attractive,
Right,
to,
right.
to show up. But I mean, the reason they don't do it is the downside of if you lose, then people don't have that expectation that you're going to go into the Olympia
Exactly.
again
And
and
win.
win
Exactly.
like that. To be the champ, you really have
Right.
to beat. We saw so many times Phil Rami. And it's like they showed up and they were this close to each other, but because Rami wasn't here, you don't get it. You have to definitively beat him. What happens if Derek wins and then they're both neck and neck at the Olympia? Like, do the judges look at that next year and be like, well, Derek won one, Samson won one. We could give it to him. I don't know. I think the risk of your the career risk is high, but the money might be worth it. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It is. It is.
If you want Goob to expose somebody,
Yes,
Give
please
some
leave those in the
suggestions.
comments. Anybody you guys want to expose, make sure you
Even
leave
if
them
it's
in the
these two
comments.
gentlemen to my left and right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
you probably expose yourself at this point, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Hey guys, thanks for watching today. If you liked it, leave a comment. If you liked, subscribe. We'll see you next week and see you guys at the Arnold.